Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today we are going to be doing the practical session in which we will create a VPC, we will create an instance and attach that VPC to it. Also we would be implementing security manager, attaching NACL policies as well. Be logging into your AWS console, then you search for the VPC in it, just as I did. Click on VPCs. Click on Create VPC. That subnets, it shows 4 subnets within this VPC. That is, I am on the region that is Asia Pacific Mumbai, so it says AP South 1A and AP South 1B. In that we have public and private subnet totally. Now name your VPC. I am naming it KF Demo VPC. In the below there is the IPv4 CIDR block. In that previous sessions we discussed how you can create the CIDR notations of IPv4. If it is mentioned 10.0.0.0/16, if it is /16, it has 65,536 IP addresses. So we will not change the default settings, so we'll go with this one. We will also not change the availability zones and all these details. We'll keep it as default and then create the VPC. Now as you can see, it shows in the detail section, it created a VPC, it enabled the DNS host names, etc. All these details related to the VPC. Now click on View VPC. Now you can see your VPC. Now when you see the resource map of your VPC, you can see that in the network connections it has internet gateway. Now after creating the VPC, let's create an EC2 instance. Click on Launch an instance. I'll name it KF Demo Instance. Let's choose Ubuntu. I'm on the free tier. You can also try it on the T2 micro free tier. Just go below and I'll create a new key pair login. That would be .pem file for a secure shell or SSH login. It's downloaded. Create security group and change the VPC from the default to the VPC which we have created, that was KF Demo VPC. So let's select that. Now we have attached the VPC to the EC2 instance. Usually what we do is we select the private subnet of your selected VPC. But for this demo, we would be selecting the public VPC subnet. Click on Auto Assign Public IP enabled. Now let's create an instance or launch an instance. It's launching and it's successfully created. Now copy the public IPv4 address so we can do the secure shell SSH. In Git Bash as a terminal, you can use others as well to connect to your instance through SSH. Now click enter, click yes, enter yes. Now it's connected to SSH or to your instance through your terminal. So apt update. It will take a while to update the packages. Let's wait. Now we'll use Python to host simple http.server on port 8000 to see we can apply security manager and NACL rules to learn them. Enter python 3 m http.server 8000. Click enter. Now it says that the server is serving on HTTP port 8000. When we search our port, it would not open. We can see that the instance is running. Go to the security section in your instance and check for the inbound rules. Since it only allows traffic from port 22 range, that is the range of your SSH connection, you would not be able to access that port. Now let's check the Network ACL policies. Go to the VPCs and then go to the network ACLs. Find the VPC which we have connected. Check for the inbound rules of the NACL. We can observe that there is a rule 100 with all traffic that says the source 0.0.0/0, which is allowed. That means the traffic is allowed from the internet. But since the instance security group does not allow traffic from port 8000, it is not allowing us to access that port. Go to your instance, go to the security groups, then change or edit the inbound rules, and we will add another rule that is to accept from the port 8000. So let's create that. Save rule. Now it's created. When we go to that same port which we have created, it would be now accessible since we allowed the traffic from the port 8000. Our terminal also confirms that it says 200, which means it is working. Now as you can observe the inbound rules, the first inbound rule was default, that was to only access the SSH type, which was port 22. Now we have created another rule with the port we have assigned while creating an instance, which was the port 8000. Now that we have created that inbound rule, the traffic is now accessible. So now we can access that port or our link or the site. Now let's try to change some network ACL rules, so we can see if we can change the traffic or we can change the accessibility of that port. So let's click on network ACLs in the VPCs and edit the inbound rules. Now by default it says allow. Let's create another new rule with rule number 100. We would keep it at custom TCP with the port range 8000, which we have created while the instance, and click deny. It is updated. Now when we try to access that port again, it would not allow us to refresh or access them, as we have denied the port through NACL. Also, the thing to note is that network ACLs or NACLs operate on the subnet level and security groups operate on instance level. So we changed the instance policies for net security groups and we changed the security policies or NACLs for subnets. To avoid manually changing the policies on the security groups by specifying inbound rules 8000, deny or allow, we can use the policies on the network ACLs to do it once. So whenever we attach that VPC, that port range would be allowed or not allowed. We can create multiple NACL inbound or outbound rules in accordance to the traffic which we want to allow or not allow. So if we were to do on the instance level by security groups, we would have to do it again and again after each instance we create. But when we do the network ACL or NACL policies or inbound rules or outbound rules, we have to create, it operates on the VPC level. So it is like we are assigning the EC2 instance the VPC. So VPC, if it has the policies or the traffic rules which you want, we just need to attach that VPC to the EC2 instance. So it's like saving so much of the time. But if not, we would have to do it again on the instance level. If not, we are doing on the VPC. I hope I make sense. Also, NACLs works on sequential order. If the rule number is 100, it works in the sequence like 100, 200 and then star. So when we create a policies or inbound rules, it works with the rule number. We created another inbound rule with rule number 200, denying the traffic for the port 8000. Now that rule will not be effective as the sequence order of that rule is second. Yes, allow, so it allows the traffic. Now let's update the rule numbers so it is in the different order. So let's 200 and 110 save changes, and now the first rule number, that is 110, has the deny for the port 8000, and the second rule, that is 200, has the rule allow on the port 8000. So it would not allow accessing on that port. So that was the video for today, explaining you practically how NACL and security groups work. We have seen in this video that NACLs work on the subnet level, whereas security groups work on the instance level. And we applied different rules according to our port 8000. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Have a great day. Bye.